Billy Joel, completely retold. Welcome to today's edition of It's Still Billy Joel to Me, the official live stream of Billy Joel, completely retold on Facebook. All right, today's edition is going to be a vintage magazine article I have from November 1978. Circus magazine for young people. So this will be right up our alley. They have a great interview in here that I'm just going to read out, show you the pictures. First of all, we've got our buddy Billy on the cover. It says Billy Joel. His records go platinum these days, but his heart's still on 52nd Street. All right. Also, if we go to the contents page here, I did a little shopping on eBay. Got a couple more magazines we'll be looking at in the next few episodes. All right. Contents. We've got pretty standard picture for him back then. Billy Joel moves to 52nd Street, page 22. So let's go see what they've got on page 22. Starts out. I've got a nice picture here with his gold platinum albums in the background. Get that up where you guys can see it. With a piano in the corner. I believe this is a picture from at his Glass House, pictured on the Glass House's album. I always get confused because this looks extremely familiar to the Stegmeyer residence. They had piano over in the corner with gold records up on the wall, but I'm pretty sure that's in the Glass House. All right, and we've got the title here, Billy Joel's New Address. He's no stranger by now, but his heart's still on 52nd Street. We've got a nice picture there coming up to the microphone with the caption, Joel's image is that of the street tough, but that is not entirely accurate. We weren't so tough, he says. All right, well, let's read into Billy Joel's new address here. Billy Joel, Martin Mull, and two unnamed members of the Beach Boys were getting shit-faced in a hotel room in Charlotte, North Carolina. Billy Joel was the drunkest of the bunch. You know, it's dry down there, explains Billy, so we found a bootlegger and took the stuff back to the room. Anyway, these guys are egging me on. Yeah, keep chugging it down. Mull is the biggest troublemaker, and he's telling me to throw stuff out the window. No, Billy, don't listen to Martin Mull. So I'm throwing these things on the street, and suddenly I hear a banging on the door. I look around, and Mull and the others are gone. I answer the door, drunk as hell, and it's a couple of big Carolina cops. Well, I'm a smart-ass New Yorker, and I'm so drunk, I don't give a shit. So I say, hey, where's your fucking search warrant? And then I start swinging on these guys. Oh, Billy, no. And they pin me against the wall and start beating the hell out of me. Anyway, the next day we snuck out of Charlotte. We've been back since. The people there love us, but we stay out of trouble now. 8 or 9 months a year, Billy Joel and his intrepid band are on the road. Their antics would do credit to late Keith Moon. Liberty DeVito, Billy's drummer, was busted in Ohio this year for driving his car into a hotel lobby. The whole singer-songwriter thing is a cliche, says the short, muscular Joel. You know, the introverted, suffering kind of guy. Pass out the razor blades time. Me, I like to rock and roll. I love it on the road. It's the road. It's not reality. Or at least it's nobody else's reality but mine. Billy Joel, his real name, is 29 years old and one of America's best-known singer-songwriters. He has all the tools, a keen ear, developed over 12 years of classical piano training as a child, a quick, brash Long Island wit and sensibility, and a mature, stable outlook on life and the musical establishment. Billy Joel, a Hicksville, Long Island hood, is a rock and roll star. Son of a bitch! I thought this was for young people. All right, here we go. I don't do in-store gigs. I don't like to do a lot of press, says Billy, relaxing during the mixing of his new LP at New York's A&R studio. It's simple. If I do too many of those kinds of things, I get Billy Joel'd out. I get bored as shit talking about Billy Joel for the 10th time that day. Overall, Billy keeps hands off the business side. His wife and manager, Elizabeth, their company is drolly dubbed Home Run Management, sees to every artist development detail. And then the caption down here was, the 29-year-old Long Island native can afford to keep his mind on the music. His wife handles the business. All right. They were married in 1973, but Liz didn't become Billy's business associate until last year. Not coincidentally, the management move coincided with Billy's jump into the platinum class with his fourth Columbia LP, The Stranger. Says Billy, I'd had several managers before, and Liz, she's smart. She'd sit back and watch everybody else screw up. And being a manager is not hard, really. You don't have to be super creative. Just don't do stupid things, like throwing furniture out the window. Liz has good instincts and keeps things in control. Billy's new LP, 52nd Street, Columbia, is no Son of the Stranger, or sequel. A lot of people are probably expecting me to stay with the same things, he suggests, but we've always been consistently inconsistent. We called it 52nd Street because it was recorded at A&R Studios here, and 52nd used to be called Swing Street. The great swing clubs were all here, and we've got plenty of jazz on the album. Freddie Hubbard plays trumpet, Mike Marinari's on vibes, and there's a lot more rock and roll than we've done before. The dope on Billy is Long Island street kid, hung out in gangs, boxed, played hooky, never got a high school diploma, became a rock and roll fuck-up. Joel says there's some truth to the tale, but anyone who's been to Long Island knows it has no real city-style street kids. I guess, laughs Billy, we weren't so tough. His father, a GE engineer and first-rate pianist, and his mother, a sweet-voiced choral singer, encouraged but didn't coerce Billy into music. He eked out a few bucks in the mid-'60s playing area bars. There was some weird clubs around, but I always had a day gig. You know, the old musician's credo, never give up your day job. He played with a hard rock band called The Hassles, aping the Rascals, a Lee Michaels act, and a Lee Michaels-like act called Attila. I made this Hammond organ sound like a guitar. It was really loud, recalls Joel. Attila recorded one album, a complete artistic washout. We didn't know anything about recording, and besides, you couldn't record the kind of thing we were doing. No, you couldn't. In 1972, Billy moved to California and got a temporary gig at a piano bar called the Executive Lounge. It's actually the Executive Room. A real sleazy kind of place. I faked it. If I didn't know the song, I'd play a couple of major sevenths. What the hell, it was union scale, free drinks. He also took on the alter ego during his piano bar period. I called myself Billy Martin, and I was doing the Steve Martin Vegas thing. Hey, folks, the people in this place were so drunk, they took me for real. Out of this came Piano Man, Billy's first hit song. All right, let's look at some pictures here before moving on. We've got on this side, where are we? It's the picture they were using in the table of contents when they zoomed in on the mouth. Does that have a caption? Yeah, the whole sensitive singer-songwriter thing, says Billy Joel, is a cliche. Me, I like to rock. All right, the other picture they've got here, it's Billy and his band up on stage. And the caption that goes with that, the Billy Joel Band is Steve Kahn, Richie Cannata, Doug Stegmeyer, and Liberty DeVito. All right, so back to where we were. Musically, his tastes are remarkably eclectic. He grew up with Otis Redding and the Righteous Brothers, but is also fond of Harold Arlen, Cole Porter, and Dave Brubeck. He considers himself a rocker, but not out of the kissin' the shit hits variety. In addition to strong management, Billy credits producer Phil Ramone with much of the recent success. All right. Ramone produced The Stranger and is working on 52nd Street. Previously, Joel worked with Chicago producer Jim Guerco and Michael Stewart. Guerco on Turnstiles, Billy's third Columbia LP, put me in the studio with Elton John's old band members. That wasn't me. I wanted the album to be done in New York, and it's a New York record. But who the hell was I to go to Columbia at that time and say, it ain't working out with me and Jimmy? Eventually, Joel went on to produce Turnstiles by himself, with generally positive results. For some reason, they spell Turnstiles with Styles, like style. Okay. But Joel and Ramon hit it off immediately, and you can see the rapport in the studio. In the vestibule, Billy, barefoot and sopping wet from a 6-block run through the rain, is explaining earnestly to a wide-eyed receptionist that egg drop soup is a Legionnaire's disease antidote. Ramon's close-cropped head pops up out of the door. It isn't my hair, he says, tugging at the hairline. I've got a bolt in my skull. This prompts Joel to start griping about his Disco Dan haircut. When Phil leaves the room and turns to the microphone on, Billy furtively but audibly jests, You know, Phil's a homosexual. Phil smiles through the window. Joel and his wife have given up their East Side apartment and moved back to Long Island. But Billy is presently looking for a new Manhattan pad because I have to be in the city. I hear you there. Billy loves New York. On the way over to the studio, he was singing and laughing in the rain. The people in the street thought I was one of those talkers, the guys who go around spearing garbage. It would be cute to report that Billy is now going through life just singing in the rain, but there are still traces of Billy the ass kicker. Yeah. Waiting in vain for the rain to subside, a CBS publicist phones Joel at the studio and asks if the interview can be scheduled in more optimum weather, then hangs up abruptly. We're going tonight, says the publicist. Billy just ran 6 blocks through the rain, and if we don't show up, he'll beat the shit out of me. All right, well, let's see. The end. All right, Circus Magazine, 1978. One of the first big interviews that he'd done. All right, so that's today's episode. I want to thank you for joining us, and remember, you haven't heard Billy Joel till you've heard Billy Joel completely retold. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.